This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. Black History Month. Still in a Black History Month. We start the celebration from the 1st of January for reasons unknown to me. Yes. Because I don't understand where I go on, but I understand where I go on, you know, but I have to keep it bright. I have to keep it bright because if somebody don't keep it bright, the light going just dull. You understand? I just flick out. So you have to have someone to keep it bright. This is Black History Month. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. You're listening to Dennis Brown featuring Protege. The first that you hear Dennis Brown featuring Jesse Raya. On Earth Day this weekend, yeah, Saturday, right down in the wharf there, Victoria Pier, yes. Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge. So, you know, say, today, I never ever realized it's a holiday. I try to figure out which one of the things they make it a holiday. Is Ash Wednesday or is Valentine's Day. It's just ironical that the Roman Catholic Church have the privilege to lock down the island when they want, and it is all written in the Constitution too. You know that a public holiday instituted by the Roman Catholic Church. Everybody have to stop work for take part in this. Well, not even a mythology, a lie. You know, this is Ash Wednesday. A whole people don't even know why them have Ash Wednesday. Just like a whole people don't even know why them have Boxing Day. If you ask the most Jamaican out there, what is the symbolism or what is the significance of Ash Wednesday, they can't tell you. So it's kind of ironical. It's ironical that we still in this Christmas, Boxing Day, Ash Wednesday, Lent, Easter, Good Friday, all of these things that was institutionalized by the Roman Catholic Church is still indelible in our psyche over the years. And all the lies them with them tell that you have people named Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John who write the Gospels, all of these things, and people will die for these talk and arguments. In Jamaica, you have black people who will on it more than white people, really. The ideas that most people who call themselves Christians in Jamaica will on. All light come from Europe. All light. When I say all light, I mean like all of it. You know, if it never come from Europe geographically, it come from Europeans anywhere they find themselves. Because you know, say all Alexander did end up all in Iran, end up in Egypt, and all these places. If you go a certain place and scavenger the city them, burn down the building them, take away the book them, carry go to Greece, and they hear say Greece is the center of philosophy and learning. But we know now, even though we never know then what it was and what it was all about. So we can't afford to go back in these stories and these lies and these fantasy stories that them have in front of us as African people. And it's very difficult to wake up African people to them slumber because it is so inside our way, inculcated in a way that, may I tell you, people reason about these things passionately. Passionately. When I say passionately, I mean like to death those part, even though them don't have no reason substantially and justifiably for believing in these things more than say it was handed down through the times and the ages. No, I have no reason to believe it because it has not served us as a people who is domiciled on these farmer slave plantation islands for how much years now. It has not served us. It might serve individuals, but collectively, just like how you have money we serve the Jews them collectively. It served them. that them can all take with people land and call it them own, which was given to them by the British. Or these Russians and Germans gather in our center, in our place, and start to declare themselves owners of the land. It served them because them control America, and America give them the biggest aid. Them don't really need it, but it just show the collaboration effort will take place between them. African people have never yet come to that fullness. You know, Marcus Garvey tell you, said, just look for where them do. Him never shun them. Him say, look for where the Jews do. And you see it. And learn from that. And him never talk about the wickedness and the cruelty. Like how them are run out Africans out of Israel. I give them till March, the end of March, to leave Israel. As a matter of fact, them actually offer the Africans them $3,500 for leave. Can you imagine that? 20,000. It is claimed 20,000 illegal Africans is in Israel. We remember the days when them did shuttle in 10,000 Ethiopian falashas into Israel to validate Israel as the place where Jewism is the center. 10,000 falashas from Ethiopia. And we go to Israel and we see how the falashas them live. And we are say, I better them stay in Ethiopia in them little hut and mud hut than sit down in the streets of Tel Aviv and suffer like how we see them suffer. And them do all sort of experiment with these falashas in Israel. And now we see that declaration go out now that 20,000 Africans must leave Israel or face lock up. You think it's me that said that just so to create mischief? Go find it out and see if I lie me I tell. You might give them $3,500 for leave, plain fare. And if them don't leave, by the date when them say to the end, I think it's middle or end of March, and we'll lock them up. So we see the conspicuous nature of Europeans and how them shape the world according to how them want the world to look and feel and how they want you to think and behave. And a lot of us just gobble it down and don't want to stand firm because we are not educated enough to understand history. History. We don't understand that no ordinary person, no little bit of man will sell fish and a walk up and down in a Judah or Judea could have write Greek so fluently and so articulate. That is like you go to Ethiopia and go up on the street and I tell a youth now, say, or even not even a youth, a man say, look you know, write Greek, translate the history of Ethiopia in Greek. I was like you go down in a Greenwich farm and catch some man who a fish and tell him, say, all right, why you write a book? But why you write it in French? Or even English, for that matter. And see how them can articulate it. It's lie them tell way. Lie them tell way. It's the same Europeans them write it and give it to us to make us feel say it's some people in a them days, in a them time they go write it. Because after we go investigate and figure out certain things, even the place, you know them, and people know why I hear me say these things, you know, but it's Black History Month and it relates to Black history. I don't know much people know say this place what them call Nazareth never exists before the so-called Jesus Christ did about. When them talk about Nazareth and them come from Nazareth to Bethlehem and Bethlehem to Nazareth. No, we never name so. There's no historical evidence for any city in a them part of the world that names Nazareth. When I'm saying Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus never come from no Nazareth because there was no Nazareth there. You don't believe me? We know about the Nazarene. A group of people named the Nazarene. Is a Nazarene, and then put it now and configure it into Nazareth and put a city there for manipulate our mind, our consciousness with them fables. Them fables that there was a place named Nazareth and some people moved from Bethlehem to Nazareth to come get counted and all these things. A pregnant woman with 9 months pregnant, a ride on a donkey 100 miles to go get counted. It's a story where it's lock on to people. But we know and have common sense, and we have also a sense of knowing. And black people still believe these things without serious investigation. And when we tell them about Yoruba tradition, the Akan tradition, Kemetic tradition, the traditions in Zimbabwe, all of those ancient places long before any Jewish tradition did rise up. The temples of Anot and all these places, deep down in Nigeria, the Yoruba. We talk about Akan and all these things in the Congo. Them don't want to hear that because it's black. And I say it's black. So the other thing come to be white and we feel good and we feel say righter than right. And not knowing say them things are holy for them things they not go so. It not go so. Because Rome put it there. Rome. Without a doubt. We not ask somebody that. Most of our concept and belief come from out of Rome. As we mentioned a couple months ago, the days of the week, the months of the year, Greco-Roman ideas latch on pan way, and we latch on pan it, and we don't want to relieve ourselves for it. Everybody else relieve themselves for it. We as African people at this time should have read. We should have read. Take the month for read. That is what Black History Month is all about. Black History Month is all about trying to gather information about our past and present. And there's so much book there now that is written by African people, black people. There's so much books out there that can be read. We have to take time to read them. You know, we have to read them. Read about our history, not history. Our story we have to read about, not his story or her story. Our story. How much have we, since the month start, take up a book that relate to African heritage, African culture, and African perspective, African philosophy, you know, very important African philosophy. How much have we take up a book since the month start to deal with that? Yeah, but Valentine's Day we catch you a fine book for write love potions all tight and chocolate and all these things we're going to rat no teeth. We as African people have to rise up because the thing I go fast and quick. Yeah, man. The illusion that them create and put in front away. It's not an illusion to them because them know to use illusions and get richer or fight and become powerful or fight. We just are using illusion and see. We don't even know it's an illusion. So we can't even use it. We just believe it. How much shall we take up a book about Marcus Garvey this month here? Shekinah Diop, Benyo Cannon, J.A. Rogers, all of the great scholars, African scholars. How much of we know about any African scholar for that matter? How much of us know about any African scholars that has written books that can stand up to any European history book them that them can bring to us. Because most of the time when we read history, the history we learn in our school is not written by African people. It is handed down to us by the same colonial masters who want to keep us into subjugation to for them thinking and for them way and understanding of self. So we use for them logics to define and decide what is right, what is wrong, how things supposed to be and how things not supposed to be. Look how the Roman Catholic Church grip way. Most Jamaican people is not Roman Catholic. As a matter of fact, them say the fastest rising denomination, Christian denomination in Jamaica is Seventh-day Adventists. And Seventh-day Adventists no celebrate Ash Wednesday. Celebrate Seventh-day Adventists, not celebrate Ash Wednesday. Jehovah's Witnesses celebrate Ash Wednesday. Rasta don't celebrate Ash Wednesday. So most Jamaican people don't celebrate Ash Wednesday. But Ash Wednesday is forced upon us as a place where we should come now and rub ashes for thing and start Lenten season and don't try to give up things where you know so you can't give up. And don't eat meat for much days and this and that until Easter come. And then you celebrate another Roman holiday again, Bad Friday and Good Friday and Easter Sunday and Easter Monday. And all is well again and you're back to normal. It's a ritual that is not perfected in the consciousness because it is not ours. Most youth don't even know what is Good Friday, what the purpose why them celebrate Good Friday. Most youth that Jamaica don't know about Good Friday. Them hear the name Good Friday, but them don't know what is happening. Why them celebrate Good Friday? Why you celebrate something you don't know about? You should have investigate it. And that is how them have we know. Just follow blindly like zombie, according to Villa. Them say go right, you turn right. Turn left, you turn left. Zombie, oh, I just zombie. The whole way a zombie. We not think. So when somebody come now and write a book for make you think, I say something for make you think, you shun them. You say, no, foolishness that. Where you want to that far? We are going so all the while, not never did wrong. Well, something wrong. Because we don't at the bottom of the ladder, continuously try to figure out how to get up. The reason why we can't get up is because we are using the other man's logics and the other man's definition of self to define we as a people. And the only way we can define ourselves as a people is through his eyes. And powerful people, according to according to John Henry Clark, powerful people will never educate powerless people in what it means to take the power away from them. Because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. You want to say that again? John Henry Clark said, he said, powerful people will never educate powerless people in what it means to take the power away from them. Because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. So if even for perpetuate a 400, 500-year lie, a 2,000-year lie, them going to do it because them know say by perpetuating it to the children of the farmer slave them will be perpetually enslaved. And they will be the masters of these people who feel them free. So we're going to wake up out of that now. We need to educate ourselves into African consciousness. There's so much things out there we can't say we don't know again. You have computer now. You have computer now. You know, I get some response from people at some place where I say, hey, listen to me. And people are respond to what I say. So it's not like say the thing is hidden anymore. You know, it's not like you have to hide something now. Or it's not like say you can't hide it anymore. It's out there. The information is out there. The people that with the most information is them who rule the world or is them rule the world. Because information rule the world. And African people lack information, especially in this part of the world. We're into superstition. Superstition. And if he said superstitious behavior is part of the whole criteria to spirituality. Superstition can't carry to nothing spiritual. And that is how black people define themselves, whether in Africa or Anya. So we're very superstitious, and it's not like Europeans don't superstitious, you know. But we don't superstitious in our own things. Because then we don't understand how it works. So only we lack information and so we're inspired. You can't be inspired without information, because all of that will be superstition. And African people, because they are not informed, them use them belief to define reality. You can't define reality through a belief. You have to define reality through a logical, practical understanding of how things work. How things work have to be in front of you. Spirituality in the African consciousness is reality. It's a living being, a living form, a living idea, and a living thought. We work off, in the Western world, we work off faith. And when I talk against faith, we just say, if that is the only thing that defines your reality, then you don't have no reality at all. No reality at all. So when Rome come, and them start to show with certain things, we have to really figure it out. Figure it out. And if we can't figure it out by sitting down to ourselves, we can talk to other persons or go on the internet or something, we have to figure it out. Then Martin Luther, we're not talking about Martin Luther King now, we're talking about the German. The German we are talking about. The German Martin Luther. That is where Martin Luther King Senior get him name from. Martin Luther, the German, in Germany, during the time of the Reformation, during the time when the Protestants them are raised. We're going to come forward. This is the cutting edge on RFM. Yes, this is the cutting edge. So we are continuing the journey into the awakening of the African mind and the African consciousness. This is Black History Month. We're very concerned. We're very concerned because we see the people them are moving more and more. We're talking about the majority of people now who is not very educated are moving more and more from them Africanness. But guess what now? The problem with that is that you know if you're born in Africa, if you be African, because them take you out of Africa, but them couldn't take the African out away. So there's something that is in our still that we need to ignite. And you need something for jolt African people to make them know, say, hey, you're African. You know, say African. Where you going so far? You understand? And it's going to take a serious shock too. If you use 120 volt, you have to use 400 volt to shock these people. Them really need some shock. You know, them just mentioned a movie a while ago about the Black Panther. It's a fantasy movie, but it have black characters, black heroes, and it actually a project African clothes and certain aspect of African culture. I bet you that movie there will have an effect on how people view African wares, African clothes. I remember my lady introduced African wares, and people never did know, say, when you say African clothes, people think primarily West Africa. Africa is a continent, it's not a country. You have 50 different countries in there. And a whole heap of them have them different wares. So most of the time when people think about African clothes, them think Nigeria. Because Nigeria have 170 million people there. And for them, style and fashion is very pronounced. Given also that them have a thing named Bollywood, where them a make movie more than Hollywood. But the point is that the pop culture is one of the ways where people get ignited into cultural expressions. Just like when people see Beyonce on TV, they want to look like her, or Rihanna. The young people, they want to look like her. Even old people told me, see, some old people are just like Beyonce. I know me. I say, what are them mad people? Just like when them see the hip-hop artists, them, or even the dancehall artists, them, in the mainstream, by them TV every day. What we find is that a lot of times the African them who is conscious need to integrate and need to really usurp the pop culture and bring the pop culture. Just like how Rastafari used pop culture to Project Rastafari. That's a good example of how a group of people used pop culture to spread a message, an African message and a spirituality that is not found or was not found in the music. I think this movie is a very significant movie because it actually shows African things in there in a more, what we call, even though it's fantasy, but there's a lot of things in there where we can see how people that look for. Because I see places now I say, them can make your clothes for go at the I know you say RFM down there. You say RFM go down there and Zipper go down there and think. But it's very interesting, very interesting. Anyway, the reason why we are saying all of them things there is because African history never started slavery. Slavery is not African history. It's which part African history got broken. Now we are trying to mend it back now. So we have to go beyond slavery. We have to go beyond slavery because that is when Africa was in its glory days. Before the Europeans come there with them Bible and them gun and teach us to pray with our eyes closed. And when we open our eyes, them have the land and we have the Bible. And them use the gun to make sure say we accept that. And we are talking about everywhere in Africa, even in Ethiopia too. We don't like that, bite that. Italians go to Ethiopia. Europeans in Egypt go over to Ethiopia and influence the African them into this thing where them call Christianity. And we accept it because the whole heap of it we accept as part of our reality. And most of it we grow out of. We grow out of it. So it's a step. It's a step. We grow out of certain things and we come realize different now. We come realize that our reality cannot be bound by a book with 66 books in it. Our reality cannot be bound by some little fantasies and illusions that is projected in the pages of a book where we know say them things like not real. It's not real. It cannot happen. How them say it happen, it's not real. Because there's no evidence of those things happening now. And there's no evidence of it did happen before. And you cannot validate a book by using the same book to validate it. That is madness. You can't validate a book by using the same book to validate it. It just don't work that way there. I want to tell the people about the Poetry in Motion. Yes, 2 poetry festivals are going. One this month and one next month. We have Poetry in Motion, Sunday, February 25th. You know, so this is Yasser Safari initiative, Manchester Golf Club. That is in Mandeville. That is Poetry in Motion. I go on for 15 years now. But I say, yes, so I got you. And you know, say every year it pack up. Yes, every year. We then from before it reached the venue right there now, till it there now. But yes, and Poetry in Motion. And then we have the This Poem Words Agro Festival, where it gone back to the school. If memory serves me right, I do have a flyer there, but yeah, if I'm Takura want call and get the operator to give me the information, I think it's March, the end of March there. So Takura, if you're listening, give me the information for this poem Agro Festival, Poetry and Agro Festival. And I think it gone back to the school where it start. So, yes. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you. We are going through Black History Month. Black History Month. You talked about Martin Luther a while ago, and we make the connection between the Roman Catholic and the holidays that we have. And most of the holidays that we have, religious holidays, was given to us by the Roman Catholic Church. You know, I mean, most of the religions now that surround us have its genesis in the Roman Catholic Church, but most of them break away and form them own little thing, given where them are deal with. So here we are saying now, them have a place named St. Peter's Basilica. For those of you who ever hear about St. Peter's Basilica, that's where the Pope lived, right in the heart of Rome. That's all. Them call it Vatican City. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world, but one of the richest country in the world, and center in our city itself. Can you believe that? Vatican City in our next city, you know. Yes, it's in a Rome. Rome is a city. But Rome history transcends all the other histories of the Western world, in that a lot of the belief system that people hold fast to come from out of that place, Rome, through the Pope them, through the Emperor them. You know, we talk about Pope Emperor Constantine all the while, but when Rome did not control the place, even in what them call Jerusalem, them place there, because that is how them destroy the temple them. The Greco-Roman ideas flourish in them time there. So you did have a man now named Martin Luther. And I must tell you that Martin Luther King we are talking about now. Martin Luther influence Martin Luther Senior, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther Jr., which is the famous black civil rights leader, where talk about peaceful means. One of the people them who him say influence him is Mahatma Gandhi, but the name itself was influenced from this German named Martin Luther. Martin Luther was a man who never find favor with the Roman Catholic Church. Never find favor with the Roman Catholic Church, because once again, just like Henry VIII, him did want married too. And you know the church that lick out certain sound. But the interesting thing about Martin Luther is that him write book against the Jews. Him thinks the Jews should be burnt and all at the stake and all them something. This is a serious issue we are talking about now. But you did have a pope named Pope Leo. That's before the St. Peter's Basilica did build. Because you know them tell you, say, Peter, the same Peter in the Bible, is buried under the Basilica, the church. Them bury man underneath there, so. That is what them say. Anyway, Pope Leo did want to build a more refined place for the church. And I kid you not, in Rome, in Europe, people did almost, just like the scammer them, just like how you have the scammer them now, people were selling salvation, not turning to the Bible itself, but actually selling documents and things that can really give you salvation, that you can bypass certain aspects of what the Bible preach and get salvation. And this guy, when he Martin Luther now, was adamant against it. Adamant against it. But here we know, the Pope, seeing that this thing was making whole heap of money, and him did want bill when them now call St. Peter's Basilica, him decide say, I'm going to jump into the fray now and say, yes, I'm going to use that and make some money. Well, remember, the Pope, them the rich, you know, and this Virgin Martin Luther, they wonder why the Pope never take them the wealth to him have and build St. Peter's Basilica. Well, it so happened that the Pope get involved with this scam about say you can't buy salvation and start to sell this idea and get enough money for build St. Peter's Basilica. Martin Luther now break away from the Roman Catholic Church and start to protest against the Roman Catholic Church and have a thing named the Protestants. So you get the Protestant church, you know. The Protestant church come out of the idea, the breaking away from the Roman Catholic Church by Martin Luther, just like how Henry VIII broke away from the Roman Catholic Church and formed the Anglican Church. The Church of England is Anglican, and that was coming from Henry VIII. Well, Martin Luther now, the Protestant church, is coming from this guy named Martin Luther, who couldn't take the Roman Catholic Church again because of all the corruption with them did not deal with. And the Pope, Leo, did get involved in the corruption to the point of him collect enough money for build St. Peter's Basilica. So, why may I say this to you now? I say this because St. Peter's Basilica is like Buckingham Palace to England. St. Peter's Basilica is to the Roman Catholic Church because that's where the Pope rest, lie, and them say Peter is the first Pope. That is what them tell me now, you know. So Peter is the first Pope, and him is buried under the earth. Now, all of these things cannot be proven, but people hang on upon it over the years. And you have black people in Africa who right now hold on upon the Roman Catholicism more than the Europeans them. Meanwhile, the people them in Africa suffer. They must sell the people them the salvation message that come from the same Rome, the same Pope them, who did use scam to make up wealth and build up them big, went name the church and them thing there. Just like how you have these white people them now who call themselves televangelists, and you have some in Nigeria too, who are use money, who are use the same doctrine, get rich quick in the name of Jesus, and build up church, and build up not only church, but have only for Mercedes-Benz and jet plane and all them something there. Now we never know if we use it collectively as African people. We'll do it individually, but as collective, we never do it. You know, Roman Catholic Church set up St. Peter's Basilica, and you have about 1 billion people who will die for the Pope. And all the things that them say about eating the flesh of Jesus and drinking him blood, and Ash Wednesday, and Easter, and Christmas, and all other things them in between. And them have African people have followed these things to death. To death, them have African people have followed these things. And most African people right now will prefer to be a Roman Catholic than to be a part of the African traditions of ancient days, well longer than Rome and the St. Peter's Basilica and the Pope them. The craziness that used to go on in a Rome is not matched nowhere on earth when it comes on to wickedness by these so-called people who is vicar of Christ. And you have African people who will give them life for these fantasies, them fantastic stories. And we now educate ourselves differently. The most of the school them in Jamaica, that what them call IN school, was started by the church. Then why if you say the youth them and the people them who are governed now is so oppressive? Because them have come from a system that was oppressing our foreparents, and them just continue it, and that is how them help to maintain white supremacy. Europeans don't have to be here to maintain that. Them left them institutions here. Them church and them school, democracy and all these things, them left it here so as to maintain them power. So when you think say choose black people a rule, it means say why we are talking about white people and black people a rule. Then look on today. Today is Ash Wednesday. What does that have to do with black people? What does that have to do with black people? It don't have nothing to do with black people. But it is maintained. It is maintained here. This is legislated. This is a legislated holiday. It is maintained here as part of our culture. We who were, our ancestors were slaves, have to maintain that Ash Wednesday, Easter, Christmas, and all the other things that will come in between. And we still not awake. We still not awake. Because we can't show it, we don't know why we are showing it. And we can't keep it and don't know why we are keep it. Because you have some people who say, well, if you show it, what you have to put in place? You don't have to put nothing in place. You don't have to put nothing in the place. If you don't have Christmas, you don't have to put nothing in the place at Christmas, because Christmas today you have to put something in that place. It's like a man I say, boy, right now, he must nasty up the street, because if he not nasty up the street, the garbage man now have no work. There's a mentality there where we out. You have to have tea, because if you don't have no tea, police have no work. It's joke business that, joke talk. So when them give away Rome, because the thing is that even Rastafari feel that he would have preferred lick against Babylon and maintain Rome. Because you hardly hear a man attack white Rome, burn down Rome, and I mean, people say it, but most of the time when we talk in the negative about an oppressive system, we talk about Babylon. And the reason why we say Babylon is because we read the Bible where it is alleged that the Jews were persecuted by the Babylonians. And Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, put 3 men named Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and them never get burned, and the lion never eat them because them was vegetarian. Sensible story. But why should we now fight against Babylon? Because we use Babylon as a metaphor for cruelty and wickedness and oppression. When it's really Rome, we should have direct that anger against. Rome is where we should have direct the anger against, not necessarily Babylon. Because when you get right down to it, the Babylonians never do we nothing. The Babylonians never instill them religious practice and beliefs in our ancestors and in slavery. And the Romans, them do that from time immemorial. From the days of the Caesars, when them connect with Greece, Greco-Roman ideas, all in Ethiopia. You go to Ethiopia, you see the residues and the remnants of Greece. Greece is all over Ethiopia. In the church, Greece then there. Rome, Greece, England, all these places have been able to maintain them supremacy in the Western world. And anyone who get caught in the Western world maintain that supremacy for them. This is the cutting edge. Yes, this is the cutting edge. You know, we played Randy Valentine a while ago, bridging out of England. We want to play another tune by him, you know. Yeah, we're going to play another tune by him. Here goes. Yes, we're there with you. Heal the world. Heal the world. Yeah, people dying. Make the world a better place to live in. For you and for me. Yeah, xylophone covering Michael Jackson song, Heal the World. This is the continent.
Before the 3rd century, the church in Rome was one of many churches that were scattered all over the Roman Empire. The reason the church in Rome later became the head of all the churches of the world and dominated the Middle Ages was because it joined hands with Emperor Constantine. As a result of Constantine's pro-Christian policies, many people who believed pagan gods converted to Christianity. This consolidated Constantine's political position, and there was no need for the church in Rome to refuse the converts because it was a good opportunity to secure its religious position. After the church in Rome accepted pagan idolatry and doctrines, it was quickly secularized. During the Middle Ages, it was even hard to tell the difference between the church and the secular world. The Catholic Pope enthroned kings, and kings protected the Catholic Church. Opposing the Catholic Church itself was rebelling against one's own country. The Pope wielded an absolute power. We can see just how powerful he was through one incident, the humiliation at Canossa. That happened during the time of Pope Gregory VII. Pope Gregory VII claimed that the Pope could not be judged by anyone on earth, and he could dethrone emperors and kings, and excommunicated Henry IV, the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, in the course of the investiture controversy. As Henry IV was faced with the crisis of being dethroned, he went to the Pope who was in Canossa. Barefoot, he knelt for 3 days in the snow outside the castle of the Pope and begged for his forgiveness. This is what is called the humiliation at Canossa incident. The Pope had so much authority that there was no one who was able to hold back the Church from abusing its power anywhere in Europe. Not only that, the popes committed numerous crimes such as murder, blasphemy, simony, and adultery to hold on to their seat of power. fathom the evil deeds of the corrupt popes. Among them, Pope Leo X enjoyed works of art and collected masterpieces. He invited artists like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and Raphael to the Vatican and richly ornamented the church. Being driven by his vanity, he constructed St. Peter's Basilica. However, as he ran out of money by collecting costly works of art, he started to print a greater amount of indulgences. An indulgence is a certificate giving the forgiveness of sins. The Catholic priest propagated that people were guaranteed to enter the kingdom of heaven safer when they gave more money.
Come, see for yourself. This is not just a simple indulgence. Even though you don't do confession, all your sins will be forgiven. Even the sins of your relatives in purgatory will vanish. Will you just leave your mother to suffer in the fire? Come here, everyone. Come. When you drop the coins in the box and it makes a clinking sound, then the souls will arise from the fiery purgatory.
The sale of indulgence was one of the biggest businesses of the Catholic Church. Since indulgences was a good solution for those who were seized by the fear of hell, numerous people gathered to buy the kingdom of heaven. Giotto, the representative artist during medieval Europe, clearly shows the evils of indulgence in his work. The Last Judgment. In the painting, Jesus, the judge, is in the middle and the apostles are on both sides. Heaven is shown on the right and hell is shown on the left. One thing that is worthy of notice here is the scene where souls are weighed. A man who is on his knees presents a model of the chapel to three women. The name of the man is Enrico Scorveni. He was a notorious loan shark of that time. Because loan sharking was a big sin, he could never dream of entering the kingdom of heaven. However, even though Enrico was a loan shark, he bought indulgences and paid for his sins, and proudly purchased the ticket for the kingdom of heaven. The Bible teaches that only God can forgive sins. However, the Catholic Church insists that the Pope too has the authority to forgive sins. This kind of false teaching enabled them to commit fraud, the sale of indulgences.
Yes, this was what I was talking about. This idea of indulgence, where the Pope them used to sell in Europe. The indulgence, as you hear the man talk about it, is for really buy your way into heaven. Yes. And the reason why is not the Pope them started, you know. But the Pope them jump on it because, well, the Pope Leo jump on it because him seen say him never have enough money to build the church, which is the St. Peter's Basilica. So him jump on it now to get the rest of the money to build it. And that was the straw we brought the camel back with the other brother named Martin Luther. Broke way because him said, this is madness. This is craziness. Yet still, Martin Luther, who formed the Protestant denomination, was also guilty of writing books that talk about burning the Jews. So you see so much rigmarole and igmarole used to go on there. So, and we come inherit all of these things. And feel like say them history there is something where we should have really uphold and maintain. Because we don't know. So why the hell I as an African now, after knowing all these things, should I still maintain all of those arguments where them give me in a them book that was written put on there in the Greek language where most people couldn't read anywhere. Not even in Europe, them could have read it. Why would I know, after knowing all of these things, still maintain white supremacy in my heart of hearts? Why? I mean, ignorance is not bliss.
Did the world wars, revolutions, and big events of human history evolve naturally, or were they calculated and pre-planned? If they were pre-planned, who planned them? And what are they planning for the future of humanity? The answer to this puzzling question can be found within the boundaries of 3 of the world's most powerful cities. Those 3 cities belong to no nation and pay no taxes. They are Washington's District of Columbia, which is not part of the city of Washington or of the United States, the inner city of London, which is not part of London or England, and Vatican City, which is not part of Rome or Italy. These cities, called city-states, have their own independent flag, their own separate laws, and their own separate identity.
Vatican City is in fact a state, the smallest principality in the world. It lies on the banks of the Tiber, completely surrounded by the city of Rome. Its status as a separate state emerged from the Lateran Agreements of February 1929. It has its own newspaper, postal service, radio and television station, its own flag, and a population of about 1,000.
The Vatican also has its own army of Swiss guards, and it even has its own prison. The Vatican rules over approximately 2 billion of the world's 6.1 billion people. The colossal wealth of the Vatican includes enormous investments with the Rothschilds in Britain, France, and the USA, and with giant oil and weapons corporations like Shell and General Electric. The Vatican solid gold bullion worth billions is stored with the Rothschild-controlled Bank of England and the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank. The Catholic Church is the biggest financial power, wealth accumulator, and property owner in existence, possessing more material wealth than any bank, corporation, giant trust, or government anywhere on the globe. The Pope, who is the visible ruler of this colossal global wealth, is one of the richest men on earth. While 2/3 of the world earns less than $2 a day, and 1/5 of the world is underfed or starving to death, the Vatican hoards the world's wealth, profits from it on the stock market, and at the same time preaches about giving. How did the Pope and Vatican accumulate all that wealth over the millennium? One method was to put a price tag on sin. Many bishops and popes actively marketed guilt, sin, and fear for profit by selling indulgences. Worshippers were encouraged to prepay for sins they hadn't yet committed and get pardoned ahead of time. Those who didn't pay up risked eternal damnation in Satan's oven. Pope Leo X rebuilt St. Peter's Basilica, selling tickets out of hell and tickets to heaven. During the Dark Ages, the Catholic Church not only hoarded the wealth they collected from the poor, but hoarded knowledge. They kept the masses ignorant and in the dark by denying them a basic education. Like Vatican City, London's inner city is also a privately owned corporation or city-state, located right smack in the heart of Greater London. It became a sovereign state in 1694 when King William III of Orange privatized and turned the Bank of England over to the bankers. By 1812, Nathan Rothschild crashed the English stock market and scammed control of the Bank of England. Today, the city-state of London is the world's financial power center and the wealthiest square mile on the face of the earth. It houses the Rothschild-controlled Bank of England, Lloyd's of London, the London Stock Exchange, all British banks, the branch offices of 385 foreign banks, and 70 U.S. banks. It has its own courts, its own laws, its own flag, and its own police force. It's not part of Greater London or England or the British Commonwealth and pays no taxes. The city-state of London houses Fleet Street's newspaper and publishing monopolies. It is also the headquarters for worldwide English Freemasonry and headquarters for the worldwide money cartel known as the Crown. Contrary to popular belief, the Crown is not the royal family or the British monarch. The Crown is the private corporate city-state of London. It has a council of 12 members who rule the corporation under a mayor called the Lord Mayor. The Lord Mayor and his 12-member council serve as proxies or representatives who sit in for 13 of the world's wealthiest, most powerful banking families. This ring of 13 ruling families includes the Rothschild family, the Warburg family, the Oppenheimer family, and the Schiff family. These families and their descendants run the Crown Corporation of London. The Crown Corporation holds the title to worldwide Crown land in Crown colonies like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The British Parliament and the British Prime Minister serve as a public front for the hidden power of these ruling Crown families. Like the city-state of London and the Vatican, a third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart of Washington. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. Corporation of the United States. Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen and whose land is called Crown land, the United States is just another Crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia. The secretive Brotherhood of Freemasons laid the Washington obelisk's cornerstone in 1848 and contributed 22 Masonic memorial stones. 250 Masonic lodges finance the Washington Monument obelisk, including the Knights Templar Masonic Order. At the heart of London city-state is a 187-ton, 69-foot-tall Egyptian obelisk called Cleopatra's Needle. It was transported from Egypt and erected on the banks of the River Thames. In Vatican City, another Egyptian obelisk towers high above St. Peter's Square. What exactly is an obelisk? Obelisks are phallic-shaped monuments honoring the pagan sun god of ancient Egypt called Amun-Ra. The spirit of this pagan god is said to reside within the obelisk. Obelisks symbolize the phallus and fertility. At the base of the obelisk is a sunwheel circle symbolizing the vagina. Together, they depict male and female sexual union. Worshippers of Amun believe Amun is the supreme god and creator of all things and can transform himself into other gods like Osiris, the god of the underworld, or Seth, the god of evil and chaos.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. The time is 12 o'clock. The man called Crucial Banky. Yes, we're there with you. Cutting Edge. We'll take some call. We'll take some call. Petite, send in the call them. Send in the call them, Petite. All right. Written by Fabian, done by Native, Black Tracks, Hill.
Hello.
You're blessed.
Bless up, Mota. Respect.
How is it?
Yeah, man. One do a big up on your program, man. You see, Mr. Sunday, the paint Jabby.
The what?
The painter, the paint Jabby, Mr. Sunday.
Yeah, Henry name, yeah.
Yeah, man, I want to give him a big up, man. Splendid piece of work, that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, splendid piece of artwork, that.
Great
Who is artist, just yourself, sir.
Yeah, all right, sir.
Yeah, man, Mota. I love the program, yeah, man.
Give thanks.
The thing I noticed with black people still now, black people throw away, for them culture, embrace every other race culture.
That's what I talk about.
Yeah, man. Them throw for them culture and hold on to all the rest culture out there.
Yeah.
Why we don't want to embrace our own culture, eh? Why? Eh?
I don't
Just
know.
thank you for you and Sister Carbo, you know, because you inspire me to embrace my culture, you know.
Yeah.
Embrace my blackness. Embrace my broad nose and my big eye.
All right,
So,
sir.
man, I really respect, you know, respect Young Carbo, man. Splendid work now, and respect the artist, man. Splendid work.
Yeah, give thanks.
Let's go.
Yes. Yes, and we're glad to hear that. We over there, so, okay. We'll take the call them, as we say.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Hill.
Real better motor.
How is it?
No, the one to find something to you know. Because I don't really leave off of the reasoning where they found because I like the reasoning.
All right.
But the man then, when you say I deal with the road, you don't know what to say. When public work, parish council, and land department did the road, a better concern on the road them as how them are doing it now. The politicians then take over the road and then not do nothing to you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because when public work and land department and parish council give out work, when you do the work, at that time, when you do the work right, at that time, the man sign the paper, you collect the money, you know.
Mm.
Politicians then take over the road, and all them do. Send a man to do it, and nobody, they no clean the water table or nothing. They just chop down the bush and everything at the road.
Mm.
Them just build the road like a riverbed. That's why so much, it had so much trouble. Because he in the 30, 40, 50, and 60. Nobody never block my road, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody never block my road because the road didn't stay good because when the road get bad, the headman come in and he clean drain and he clean water table and if the road I go resurface, those place, lay it for the water run. But then just shut down the bush and left it on the road and left the water in the middle of the road like a river there. And that has been the most trouble in Jamaica, you know.
Me see it, man. Me see it.
That's it. So the people, they must do better.
Yeah. All right.
And the politicians, they must stop doing them do because them take out what money them want. Because man of a fixed road. A river shingle demand them to use because when there was a boy, people broke stone.
Yeah, man.
And I hit them take. And that time, a 4 and 6 pounds a yard, the people then used to broke it for, you know.
Yeah, broke them one by one too.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
feeling a match, you know, cry.
So no, you see what them do I just river bed my bed. On the road and then I'm gonna be no better.
Yeah.
Because if you come on a house and say you want the roof to slab, you know. And the man don't make the house stop that the water can run off of the roof. I rat that roof, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same like the road. If you know big place, open drain.
Curve.
In a 2016, which part the whole Martin school used to do. I said, hear me, I call the family now.
Yeah.
Which part the whole Martin school in a 2016, the man them build a game and basket there. Let me tell you, last week I walk on the road and go down there. And the whole night turn over and the road were in a burst stage.
Yeah.
That more than where it was.
Yeah, we talk about it all a while, you know, but them not listening. I don't know if they have no money for do this thing, but them have money for do that.
Them are the man. The most of the man pick them up for the politician, them no budget.
Yeah.
So when they hear the road, I go fix them glad, you know.
Them take them 10%.
Yes, because the man of the fix road.
No, yeah, we say that again, yes.
The river shingle out of the river, and that you take fix road because it porous.
Yeah.
On the top of the water, and then they build the road flat same way. That same way we have the problem right until, and when we see, we use the 3/4 of Jamaica at the 30s, 40s, and 50 at the rough road, you know.
Mm.
Because when you used to all come around the junction, when you have to talk about them and I tell you, say, boy, road rotten. No go so. And them rotten.
Mm. Oh, them build it, yeah.
Because you say, when enough time when we used to come on the junction at the 30, 40, and 50, 2 vehicles hard, they could have come through there.
Yeah. Some buggy road.
So now we come to an improvement, the thing should have do better, but the man them not do it. The man waste time.
All right, sir.
Take care of yourself, boss.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man. Yeah, man, the man that thought the right thing, you know. Something we confront regular upon the program, but you don't know how it goes. Yeah, the time is 18 minutes past 12 o'clock on the cutting edge. Yes, Ian.
Hello?
Yes?
Muta that?
Yeah.
Muta Breeze, how you do?
Breeze, what? Breeze.
Let me just call you up and say, boy, me I watch your trad from the 70s come right through.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Breeze, how you
I
do?
listen to you, I listen to you a week time, you know?
Yes. Where you don't hand over?
And tell you, say, me I listen.
I don't hand over you there?
Yeah.
What? People don't know what call me now, Gene Breeze, original dub poet.
Yeah, man. Here, just hurry up and me love the trad.
Give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Nice to hear from you, man.
I keep on listening, yeah?
All right, Breeze. Yes.
Yeah, enough knowledge, man. Enough knowledge.
All right.
All right, Muta.
Yes, may I tell you, Gene Breeze. Long time I don't hear from Gene Breeze. You know, it's the first Gene Breeze called the program. Aye, but something must strike hard tonight, yeah, man.
Yeah, good man, boss.
Blessed man.
You know, so I'm in a critical moment and I don't know what I can do about. I'm a big listener to you and big fans to the radio station. I one night, couple nights, well, couple nights. I done them like the night when Queen Africa come in the studio and so when you come and in front of the studio, the radio station park. But I say, yeah, go in the studio when I rush. But same time, taxi comes for me. But me they talk to Queen Africa and whatever. Is my foot broke differently. And 104,000 for deal with the bone. But me they buy some pins for me going on my foot before. And me pay 70,000 for the pin. And the doctor tell me my bone stop growth, so I have to go buy the bone back for my foot. And right now, the situation I'm in now critical for me because all I little money what me have spend out. You understand me?
I hear you, man. People might hear you.
Yes, so me don't know how I can get a donation or try to set a donation to beg a help. Like
you want to leave a number or something?
Yeah. Because I talk to Queen Africa and Dwayne Stevenson and them must say they would come give me a bonfire for me a night. But me link a place down Stratton, but they must say me have to get me link down Cheverland, but they must say me have to give him a money for half of the money for the land. And the thing I beat me right now motor because about 1 year. After 2016 my foot broke motor.
Yeah, what broke it?
Huh?
What broke it?
You know what I say? I done a royalty and a nigga me did their work. And I live with a woman and I come out of a relationship. And I pack up to come out of a relationship and the woman going like a police. She come see me I pack up and she going like a police here call bad man for me. I mean I have to jump over a stairs case.
You jump over where?
The stairs case. Me and I have to
jump
jump
broke your foot?
Yeah, I mean I have to up on my right foot and go over and get to Jamaica or West End.
So where that woman there now?
A nigga she there now.
Okay.
Cause she tell me say she da breed and when I take her stock she not breed but a style she has style me come like me and mine two of them. You check it.
Yeah.
Right now me I tell her say me did about like 200,000 in my bank or 200,000 in my bank and the drive out me I tell her because me have to pay the pin for 70,000.
Yeah.
Me end up have to buy some medication for 14,000 and a 30 whole in the pack. And me have to buy that 2 times the month. Because they say me can't make it done because infection coming on my foot.
So how much money you need now?
Right now, me I tell you the truth, you know. Me not know where you no motor.
No, me ask you about how much money you need.
140,000 for the bone. And the surgery, right in front, you next door there's some, me I go buy the pin them. I could not go over. Same place you sell them people with NAS up. Something like that.
Yeah, the Marcus Garvey thing.
Yeah. Because all what you the one come at town to, you know. But the money me not reach to, you know.
Yeah. All right. So we have to know if you want to leave a number that if the people them want to call you, anybody who want to call you.
Yeah, man. Because me the eyelash me the motor.
Yeah, but you not left the number up to now. Me I tell you about if you leave a number, you still not tell the number.
No. All right. 4 5 8 25 14.
4 5 8 25 14.
Yeah.
Where your name?
Kiwian, my name.
All right. You come from long at St. Tanya?
St. Mary, me forward from, man.
Oh, St. Mary. All right.
Yeah.
All right, brethren.
All right.
Yeah.
Give her thanks, Dada.
Yes. Yeah, the brethren need some help. That's my work with you right now. We're going to play this tune still. Why, Gene, you make me night, you know. Gene Breeze, you make me night when I hear your voice. Trust me, man. When I hear your voice, yes.
Yes, thing, man.
Yeah, may I listen to you?
Yeah, man, I went here with CD Sunday, no?
Well, you give me the what?
The CD, yeah.
I will if a man give me CD Sunday now. Yeah, man, enough, man. My bag full of CD Sunday, man.
Yeah, man, I'm going to give the CD, Mark, how you live.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I just call up the man, you know.
All right, I give thanks.
Yeah, man. Man used to buy some nuts from the man from High Times them same day there.
Oh, years ago that, man.
Yeah, man. I listen to the man.
Okay. Give thanks.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. A blessing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, blessed.
How is it?
Father Muta.
How is it?
It is good to hear you, man.
Give thanks, man.
Been calling years ago, nonetheless.
Remember the voice, man.
Yeah. You know, fundamentals. The new movie,
Yes. Black Panther.
Yeah, I saw a little preview. My son sent something from New York, you know.
Mm.
Have you seen the preview?
Yeah, man. A black hero. Yeah, man.
Okay.
My lady, I do some design for the launch of Carib Theatre.
Okay.
Yeah, with only African design.
Give me a 10-word overview of it now.
Eh?
Give me a 10-word overview of what you think of it, in depth.
Well, it's the first what you call now black hero, superhero. Me see them put on screen, but in it you see how pure African clothes and things I see. I mean that's it for me, you know.
Oh, that's it for you.
It's a fantasy, but it have black images and the clothes them wearing there is very African. I know a whole heap of young people will like that kind of African clothes. You know, so we like the projection height in the African way. But as I say, it's just another Marvel superhero movie, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It is noted that in every 30 years there is an upheaval, revolution, agitation by the oppressed. In the 60s we had the blaxploitation movies, Superflies and all of that. And it was a way to divert the real essence that people like James Brown brought about, like I'm Black and I'm Proud, and Gil Scott-Heron, which was one of the brothers in the Last Poets. Very, 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 very hopeful brother that brought us.
You know him father is a Jamaican.
I'm sorry?
You know him father is a Jamaican.
Never know that.
Yeah, man. Gil Scott father.
Never know that. Give thanks for that again. So you always learn. But what I noted was Gil Scott died of an overdose.
Drugs.
Yes. Huey P. Newton
died of an overdose.
The co-founder of
David Ruffin, one of the lead singers for the Temptations, them find him in a crack house, dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you have Fred Hampton and others who, George Jackson, who they killed in jail. Eldridge Cleaver was co-opted and came back saying he saw Jesus, and so forth. So here what? The Black Panthers started the breakfast program and all of these things. They started a lot of awareness that you could carry a gun to defend yourself and so forth as long as it's open. And some of these things. But more so, they brought about a lot of culture awareness, a lot of evolution in the way black people saw themselves. It was the Afro, which is your natural, as opposed to people buying artificial this and that from Brazil and stuff where Koreans are now marketing. What may I say to you is the Black Panther movie is an escape. It's a diversion. The Black Panther movie is saying to me that if you can take bits and pieces from the Panther movie, they know that Black Lives Matter is an rising because white people now join the black cause. You have to find a way to divert all those energy like a Wing Chun practitioner, that you don't stop the blow, but you divert it.
Yeah, but wait there. The Black Panther did they about before the Black Lives Matter still, you know. It's a Marvel superhero.
I'm saying it is true, my good brother, but hear me. My expression again is it's a way whether dreams reflect reality. The inner reflect the outer, and the micro reflect the macro. If you keep the individual attuned on, because they put snippets of haven't you heard, the revolution will not be televised, and all of these little expressions that we had in the 60s that were very motive.
Yeah, them use Gil Scott things them in there, yes.
Yes. So it evoked, I mean, one clip of a Coca-Cola during halftime caused half the theater to walk and go buy Coca-Cola, you know. So if you put pieces of Gil Scott, it reminds us and bring us back to a black exploitation state where they are now, as Biko says, the greatest weapon in the hand of the oppressed is the mind of the oppressed. Of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So if they can take what we are saying is part of our awakening and divert it, then we have not evolved from that awakening. We are still sleeping. Right. Or they are keeping us in a state of docility.
Yeah, but I want to show you your next point of view with it now.
Go ahead, my brother. Bless.
You see the youth them nowadays, them don't have a clue about what you're talking about, you know. In terms of Black Panther Party and Huey Newton and all, they don't have a clue. All right. You see this movie you now, because of the frivolousness of these youth, you know, it kind of interject a certain aspect of blackness, where even though we might look at it as frivolous, but them youth just see it as serious. Because them never have the strength where we did have in them time left. You know, say Black Panther was doing that and Black Panther, and, you know, I mean, where I think it can do, I think it can invoke something in the youth, the frivolous youth them right now, who don't have no other, nothing else to lean upon, but more than the frivolity of movies and audio and whatsoever them have, for really visualize that this is African designs, this is drawing from a period when them never did born, maybe them father never born either. And maybe it can invoke certain things, just like how to the daughter of an Afro there and come up in the Miss World, in the Miss Universe thing, and people start really look for Afro again, for them way there. So we can't look on it as a serious thing and I say, yeah, you know, but this thing a divert the thing, but it a divert from where we didn't know it's supposed to be, but it not divert from the youth them. Because the youth them never know what you are talking about and what me know. The youth them know where they must see us or now, and they must see something new. They must see some a black hero where them never usually see on the screen. You know, every one of the hero them was white. And they must see images where it's basically African image upon it. I mean, most of the clothes them in there for African design from South Africa and them thing there, you know.
That is the danger. Out of chaos comes order. Out of the simple comes the divine. And out of, for example, one revolution of what we see now as the Iranian Revolution or the French Revolution or the Cuban Revolution, out of the simple situation is growing what we see now as how much years, 55 plus or more years of Cuba being in power and a thorn in the side of the U.S. Now, it don't take much to awaken a people who are oppressed or sleeping. It doesn't take much. One match can burn down a house. So, as J. Edgar Hoover says, and we know what Edgar Hoover did in terms of Malcolm, in terms of King, in terms of all of the arising of black awareness, is that we must never allow another black martyr or black phenomenon to arise like Malcolm. So, by any means necessary is one of Malcolm's expression. That is what they are using. So it doesn't take, yes, the youths are unaware, yes, we are caught into the into the clicking age with the test cell phones and the Google Play Store and the rest. But the end essence of it is to keep a people. How about this book? It's called The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Have you read that book?
Yeah, man, we used to sell them.
All right. Well, in the protocols, it says we will keep them attuned in frivolous things so we can control them. The protocols, the Goyim, the Elders of Zion, the International Jew is another one. How Europe underdeveloped Africa.
So I won't put that book there. Oh, Europe underdeveloped, it's the same talking as the Elders of Zion, you know.
No,
Elders of Zion to me come like fake news still.
No. Brother Wally, right? Walter Rodney, is showing us how they can take something like our natural resource and bring it back to us in a complex state like an engine and charge us more. So I'm using that as an expression to say that what you see now as raw material and them taking it out is nothing. What we see as taking our image and making something of it, when they bring it back to us in a complex state like a movie, it is so devastating because every movie has an end result of a meaning and they want to portray something on the minds of the oppressed.
Yeah, but wait now, Virgil. Watch out now. You see, me understand where I say, I can't take it on that level because me I come from the same age where you are say. But me not have to look on how the youth them now, the position where the youth them in is a total different understanding the youth them have. So me have to look on it now. What would a youth look on this and come from? We know who I say now have a history and we have here now connect historical points with what are going on now and all them something like. The youth them do have that reference point, you know. Them have a reference point totally different. So we can't say because we have that history there now, the effect what are going to have now is to retract or really devastate the whole revolution. I don't really, I don't say it going to devastate a revolution. It's either it going to just make part as a movie, or it going to have some influence in it, just like how we see Rihanna sing and the youth them wear the long dread. What's your name? Rihanna, yeah. Wear the long thing on them back and say, I them here, but a really Chinese thing, and them wear it. That have nothing to do with Africanness. Yet still Rihanna them and Jay-Z in some deep African way where them more and more and gradually I see it come out in their music. Jay-Z. Eh?
You and I come from the same period.
Yeah, so what me I say now is that now we can always say, yeah, but you see, when them come with now is for really retract the revolution. There's no revolution to retract, you know.
Okay.
There's no revolution to retract. What is happening now is that there is something that is happening now that is bringing to life because it's a youth make the movie, you know. It's a black youth make the movie. So you can't say he might look on certain things a certain way. And he might create that experience in that certain way. We know I look at that say, but that now represent our Africanness what we know from the black movement and black. That
yes. All right, hear me. You're right. But hear me. The Grammys, reggae music, what we see now is someone like Chronic start out in real how what it takes for one little Rastaman to light a fire in the Vatican. Yeah. Anthony B with some of the same things and so forth and others. Yeah. And after a while, if you listen to the length of that genre or of the music where they are sing, it will change to somewhat be a recipient for one to gain a Grammy, which we call a Sammy, we're little like a Bammy. The extent of it is they have skewed how people is putting forth conscious.
Then the one where we no conscious man. Is a conscious album winning, you know.
Father Muta.
Yeah.
Father Muta, with respect.
Yeah.
33 years ago, I was in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, with the movie that you made in Sankofa. And much people haven't seen that movie to find the cultural essence of it. And I sat with Haile Garima in that film festival for hours and several days. And let me tell you, what that brother Haile Garima told me about movies was just, it has emplaced itself on me until today.
No, wait, come back to the Chronics thing, man. Come back to the Chronics thing. What you saying that happened there, sir? What you say happened there, sir? With the Chronics?
No, I am saying Chronics to me now is one who is very, very upfront with an awakening.
Yes.
And I am so appreciative of at least there's one in the pack.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is, when you look at how it is along the cultural front or the enlightening front, so that the people won't perish. It is only a handful that is seeing reggae music that is out there. We are giving credits to and accolades to Popcorn and
no, wait, no, man, but you have to go around the corner, man. I know that we are talking about, man.
No. I'm just trying to show you the balance and the essence of movies, film, and awareness of a people's mind.
Yeah, but you just talk about the Grammy a while ago and Chronics.
Yeah, but the Grammy...
What is the relationship between what you talk about with Chronics and the Grammy? More than... No. It sounds like him should have win.
I am... say it again.
No, it sounds like you're saying that him should win.
No, I'm not saying that.
All right, so tell me exactly what you say. It's relationship
I am
to
saying that awareness of one like Chronics is of a high stature. Yeah, and we should look at how, in time, the evolution of the music, usually it changes into something more befitting to gain a Grammy.
So if you say Chronics are going to change the music for make a Grammy album?
Well, what we're seeing is it's not up to the artist, you know.
What do you mean it's not up to the artist?
No. It's up to the institutions that control the music industry.
So if you say Damian make the album for win the Grammy?
No, and don't make it to win the Grammy. The Grammy will only accept, Mind Control in the United States, another book, states about movies, music, and even seeing what you send. For example, every email, every phone call you make is recorded in Maryland in the 4-story building where them have.
You're gone off, you're gone a different place. We want to talk about Chronics and the Grammy. I mean, you say, it sounds like you say, eventually, the system, because of winning a Grammy, people train them consciousness for win the Grammy.
I am saying to you
and eventually that's going to happen. But when I say, the two albums them, Chronics album and Damian album, it's not the first Damian win the Grammy. I not seen Damian make the album for win a Grammy.
Nas with Damian is fine, Damian music, but I'm saying to you, the music will not be accepted if it speak against the plantocracy.
No, but not go so. No, man, not go so, man. Because our music, we accept Chronics, and we accept Damian Marley. And Damian Marley and Chronics album are speaking, we don't need them to legitimize what we are doing.
No, those two albums is on top. I love it. But what I'm saying to you is we must look at time, and over time that end essence will change. That we must look for.
Then Peter Tosh, when he win the Grammy, to man, Peter Tosh never change him thinking. Him never change.
Again, the evolution and the extrapolation of time and things is what we must look for.
Yeah, but look how long Peter Tosh passed away, and then you still have other youth will come and carry the same burden and go through said way. So I don't know if you say that the system are gonna make the thing stop, because it not stop it. You know, Burning Spear never stop, Bob Marley never stop. Even myself, I would not do music for a bigger level, never stop. So I don't understand why you think say the Grammy, trying to win the Grammy, have to stop it.
But Father Butter, I now look for get nominated for no Grammy.
But I don't see said Chronic said that when he make the album, he did not make it for make a win a Grammy.
No, I'm saying to you that...
And I don't think saying in the future I'm going to make an album for win a Grammy.
We don't know that. Tomorrow is we don't have insight into...
But Damian win it 3 times now, and I don't see same album the screw for win the Grammy. A 3 times win it.
Well, remember, him young in the music,
No, but...
So let us look at the next 10 years from now and see what evolves.
I mean 10 years from now.
I'm saying to you that the structure and the order of the day, because we are clamoring now to get them don't put reggae music into the regular music.
Yeah, but you put too much emphasis on them. You put too much emphasis on them.
Them allow it to go through before, and it's not on the program of such.
You put too much emphasis on them,
credibility, then they will be very particular in allowing. For example, reggae music changing a brethren from Mali, Peter Touch, into reggaeton, into Jawaian, into all of the other forms in gospel reggae and the rest of it.
Yeah, but you still have man who are sing the song where you love and me love.
Very few.
Eh?
It's not across the board. That is what I'm saying.
It was never across the board. It was never across the board.
Yeah, but it has gone into a myriad of different ways. That's what I'm saying to you,
yeah, but you see, but that we're talking about now, the youth them will come up now, like Chronics, like Jesse Ryan.
No, Chronics hopeful.
We not like Damian Marley.
Several others
like but Chronics. Now, I'm look now and say 10 years time. Me not say them can't change, because people change. But me I say, if Chronics change 10 years time, you still are going to have a next youth. It not stop. It's still a next youth.
If reggae music is 10 fingers, there are only 2 that is singing what we know as culture music.
Yeah, but it resonates. The 2 resonate. The 2 of them resonate. Resonate bigger than the other 10 round of the corner. That's all. Chronics resonate more than a whole heap of things where we feel say never did that happen because dancehall take over. Damian Marley go win the Grammy 3 times. You know what I mean? You want something bigger than that, man. I mean, we're not you for Grammy to validate what we are dealing with. Whenever we wait for Burning Spear get validated by them or Bob Marley or Peter Tosh.
The powers that be control the strings to the Grammy.
Yeah, but whether or not Grammy, Jamaica, whether or not them in the Grammy, it have no significance to our liberation yes or no. That is just a little icing, but that is no significant. The Chronics album, where was Chronics and Damian album, where them call it now, everybody did want either of them win. When you listen to the album, them, it's not something where, it's something where you don't say, well, it's a legal system. The system, it's a legal system, but you have people there right now who is very, what we call liberal to where going. And Chronics, let me say, it's like a man I say, boy, if you win the Grammy now, because you sell out or something.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would never say that.
Yeah, but if 10 years time, really, Chronics say a different album and Damian do album. Watch out, if 10 years time, because them get old and do something different, you go have some other youth to come and do something again.
All right. Anyway, what I'm saying is...
We have to move lower now.
Yeah, but... We get a long time. We have to move 30 seconds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, it's not up to me, it's up to the advertisement you're going to play when you're talking.
Nelson Mandela listened from Robbins Island, and it kept him awake. And
Sorry. The youth, them, kill one another again in the school, them. This time it come nearer to Jamaica. I love Jamaica and get caught up in that shooting. We kill about 17 people and a couple of them go in the hospital. There's enough Jamaicans get caught up in that school there because Fort Lauderdale it happened.
Yel Mota.
Blessed Mandingo, you know, man.
Yeah, blessings. Been listening to the program, man, and I want to endorse where he was talking about the road situation and also the brotherhood said about when Public Works Department, was fixing the roads, things were much better because fixing road You have to maintain it consistently, you know. Hello?
Me there, man.
Hello? Yeah. You have to maintain it consistently because remember in the 70s working as a civil engineer with the Ministry of Works in Jamaica and the Maypen bypass road and out by policies and so on, you know, in the major projects division of Ministry of Works. You know, I personally can attest to the fact that the way in which contracts are awarded for some years now is very bad in terms of the roads that are provided for service in Jamaica, people in Jamaica. You know what I mean? You know, the political corruption, the corrupt contracts being given to people who are not qualified to be fixing and making roads, you know. You know, very, very serious situation. And this is something that I'm glad that, you know, you and the brother highlighted once more, you know. Very, very serious.
But you know,
one of the big problems in Muta with roads, you know, is that when you build roads, you must have a drainage system that is also built to, because when the water is not able to be drained away, then the road that is built, no matter how good, is destroyed.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, you must have a drainage system. You can't just build. In fact, the drainage system is part and parcel of road design, you know, and I say this in my capacity as a civil engineer who work with the Ministry of Works there and thing, you know.
All right, wait, let me ask you a question. You hear me Omar Johnson come to England?
Yes, and I even heard the date.
Yeah, April the 7th.
Huh?
April the 7th.
Yes, I heard that. I mean, when Omar Johnson first came here some years ago, I met him, it was when he spoke at the Kilburn, the Tricycle Theatre. And since then, when he has come, I have introduced him on stage several times, Omar Johnson. So he's somebody who I know, and also on my radio shows, you know.
All right, where the lighthouse, where the Edison Lighthouse, the light, sorry, Edison Lighthouse, the lighthouse.
The where?
Where the lighthouse is. Or Camberwell Road. Which part of that there?
Oh, that's Camberwell Road is South London. That's near to the Oval Cricket Ground and not far from Brixton either.
Yeah.
You know, Camberwell New Road. So it's an area that I know very, very well. You know, you have Elephant and Castle and Peckham.
So you know the
Brixton.
place. You have a place down there where functions keep upon Camberwell Road. You know the place? Yes,
you have several places.
It named the lighthouse.
Yes, I have never been there, but I know of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and thing. So that should be good. Of course, Umar has been in the news recently again, you know, but I'm telling you, Umar get involved in some things, but people will be seeing him because they haven't seen him for a while since certain things happened, you know what I mean?
Wait till them retire from blackness.
I wouldn't say, but what I find with Umar is that he has to be very careful in who he deals with, and also engage, because you know when you're in politics and thing, you're going to have opponents and that type of thing. He has to be careful with the kind of language that he uses in addressing his rivals, because you don't want them to use that as ammunition against the good messages that he has otherwise.
We bring him down here, I go see him go on away.
Yes, I know. I mean, I saw it, you know. I saw it, you know, and him talk about the Chinese threat, etc., and that type of thing. But talking about the same skin bleaching, self-hating mentality thing, is that once again in the news here, we're having things where African sisters here in Britain being told that their workplaces by them
Yes,
European
I hear about it.
managed. Yes, being told that the afro is not tidy and they must wear weave and that type of thing.
I hear about it.
Yes, we're very, very racist, you know. So the racism continues. And there was a case of a brother who went to a function for his company and carried his wife. And his manager got angry with him and said, why did you bring your sister? You should have brought your wife, because he assumed that for an African man or an African woman be in a position, certain positions in terms of companies, that they must have as a partner some European.
Yeah.
You know, and this is one of the sad things, because for some years now, and I think you have noticed this too, you know, Muta, but in Britain, for example, a lot of the ads on TV and in magazines and so on, whenever they feature an African man or an African woman, they deliberately pair them with a European partner, whether male or female.
Yeah.
In other words, the image of an African man with an African woman, they have exiled that. They don't want to show that image of the African man with the African woman.
Yeah.
You know, that is direct propaganda warfare against the African race and African family unity. You know, when you look at it, serious thing, and that is something that we as a people have to you know, strike out and correct. You know, they're not deliberately not showing images of African couples. The man must either have a European partner or the woman must have a European partner. So with them saying that the only way in which you can so-called achieve is that you must have some European, you know, and dealing with the dilution of the African race. And what I think, Zuma has resigned.
Today?
Yes, and Morgan Tsvangirai, who the British and Americans use as a puppet, he died from colon cancer, he age 65.
Yeah, but the Zuma thing is really something else, though. The Zuma. Because over people feel they're going to fight it, but he just get up today and say, yesterday I say, watch out, it's all right, I'm going to resign.
Yeah, because he realized that the party hierarchy were totally against him, you know, and it was a fruitless battle, you know, to go on. But I know what he's fretting about are the charges of fraud, corruption, and that type of thing. Because what he wanted was a 3-month grace period to serve out rather than be pushed out now. And also, but people must be aware, you know, of the new president, Cyril Ramaphosa, you know, because he's one of them involved with that British company Landmin, where on their behalf, the police in South Africa shot and murdered, killed 34 African miners at Marikana, you know. Yes.
I don't know why I feel that. I don't know why I feel that.
Person of the people.
I don't know why I feel that a white man is going to be a president of South Africa again, you know.
Well, listen. If that is so, you know, Muta, it would be no surprise to me. It might sound shocking to some people because nothing has changed for the vast majority of African people in South Africa. The whole Mandela ANC thing was a con, as I've always said. The situation in terms of the land, the economy, control, etc. Nothing has changed since 1994 with Mandela coming in. The vast majority of African people in South Africa are still suffering. Over 90% of the land still owned and controlled by the European racists.
Yeah, the president, the new president of Zimbabwe saying, nah, give back the land to the white people, them.
Yes. But what happened? He was under pressure, you know, because people were seeing that the British and Americans and other Europeans were pressuring him to say, change from President Mugabe and give the land that was stolen to thing. But pressure has been brought to bear that anyone ever does that,
Yeah.
it will show that he's an agent of the European imperialist.
Yeah,
So that's why he was. So it's pressure that is brought to bear why he had to come out with that statement.
Yeah. So him not give them
And I
back.
agree with that statement. And this is how we have to keep people in our communities. We have to keep them doing things in our interest. In our interest, definitely. And what a thing in Haiti. Yes, with Oxfam and as Muta, as you know, and others who know this too. Most of these so-called charities, say for example, out of 100 pence in the pound, about 90 pence, and in the case of the states, for example, about 90 cents or so, remain in either the states or Britain or in Europe, you know. It's a big this so-called charity thing. Whereby the directors and the European workers get a lot of money and live off.
Then you know, see what Hillary Clinton did, Hillary Clinton did do it, man, in a Haiti said it too.
Precisely, and have our brother involved with the gold mining thing in Haiti. And this is why people must read that book named Clinton Cash, showing the Clintons' exploitation in Haiti and in Africa and elsewhere. Them never have any money since them leave the presidency thing and them set up them foundation as a money-making thing. You know? Big time. Big time, you know, and thing. Michael Rose is here, you know, in doing some shows in England, you know. Yeah, man. Spoke to him about 2 days ago and thing, you know, and him sounding good same way, man. Michael Rose.
We have to move.
Big every time.
We have to move.
Yeah. Next week I tell you about a thing about skin bleaching in Senegal.
All right. Yeah, that's enough long there. We'll go down and go see it enough.
Quest Security Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, good night, Mota.
Good night, blessed man.
Yeah, man, Archie's the name.
All right.
Yeah, me just not really touch a topic. Me just want to get a low down on an issue.
All right.
I have 2 songs pertaining to artists against violence.
Okay.
Because right now, we're in a situation where the nation need a different look at how we see things.
Yeah.
I have a song name, 2 songs I have. I have one name, Ready Not the Gideon, and I have another one named No Guns.
Yeah, where
No
name?
Guns
Where
to
name?
Jamaica.
Where name?
No Guns come my yard. Archios. Archios.
How that spell?
ARCHIEIOUS.
Okay. ARCHIE.
Yeah, IOUS.
Okay. So you bring the tune come along, yeah?
No, I don't read down an eye yet, Mota. Since I get back, they know.
Oh, yes, I introduced me to you. Yeah, introduce yourself to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So why you not bring the tune them come along, Harry?
All right. Me just get the No Guns back from the studio tonight. Mix and master. The Gideon did ready. But me da wait until the 2 of them forward.
All right, sir.
Seeing. So me just reach out and make you know what I go on. You understand?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
All right, Brother Mota.
Yes, the Virgin had some promotion for music. Free promotion, okay.
Give you there.
Right.
Original Emperor. I hear somebody call and tell me say he was inquiring.
If I the original Emperor Theatre go out at St. Thomas.
Emperor Theatre. Going to be playing out at Big Bamboo Land out at Albia next week Saturday, you know, the 24th.
No, me ask if I the original Emperor Theatre.
Yes, you know, the original one. Same one.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Come you remember Emperor Theatre, you know?
Yeah, of course, you must remember. But I mean, you should come up here, yard, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. You know, with Ivan and all them things.
Yeah.
And Carl, you remember Carlin Kiddos?
Kiddos, yes. Oh, you mean, man? Carl. And guess who just called me a while ago from New York? Pauline.
Who?
Pauline. You remember Pauline? Carlin. She just called me, said she's evangelist now. She turned evangelist.
Look at that thing.
Just called me about an hour ago, she called me.
That's nice, man. That's nice, you know? That's nice.
All right, so I'm glad to hear that. So why do you launch out forward? I did it,
Yes, I launch out forward. You know, I get up like a request, like, you know, from Al Gilly there. You remember Gilly?
Oh, you mean know Gilly, man?
Eh?
Oh, you mean remember Gilly?
All them call me and say, boy, you know, if you can get me in a Japan and see me call the people, you know, who want to bring back the whole time thing, you know what I mean?
All right, I'm going to figure out how to reach out there, trust me.
All right.
24th, you said, the 24th?
Yeah, man, next week Saturday.
Is that Saturday night?
Yeah, man, next week Saturday.
Which part out there?
Huh?
Which part out there, say Taki?
All the time, man, all the time. You can't miss it right on the main road.
You're on the main road, all right,
yeah,
sir.
You know, they call it Big Bamboo, Bar and Grill.
All right, sir.
All right.
Yeah, man, I gotta remember. Give thanks.
So it is.
Yeah, man, Emperor Faith, man. Yes. We love every hear them think they are going, you know, because you know them go. Sometimes you really yearn for something where you know. Yes. Something where you know, you know, I play music where you know, yeah. You know, young people come at that now, them fakes, but me no vex to me go young people something. So I don't know why them should have vex when them come out with people something. That's why it go. Anyway, we are continuing. We say, are we this? We say, give thanks, you know. Give thanks to all who call and sit in with me. Because you know, say you have some ones where just sit in with it religiously. Some work on them. When I work up some security guard, man, may I tell you. Security guard, why you all security guard who have them little radio inside a little guard room there, you know. Yeah, we want to yell them, why you all the dressmaker them where the machine run red when stepping razor and when cutting edge come on. Trust me. Them machine them not left. All the people them who get them clothes on time should have thanked me, you know. Yeah, when them get out clothes it's so and them get it on time, them should have thanked me. Because of the program make then get them clothes on time. That dressmaker don't sleep. You understand? Even the man them who do carpenter work, we call it furniture work. Some of them sit up there and listen. So, yeah man, we yell out, man. We love that. You know, 20 years and still going strong. Can't want better than that. If something like go wrong, won't there still. So we must do something right while we're still there. The problem is that a whole heap of ones listen to it and just make it go through 1 year and come through the other years. No. But we're not business. You know, we show it and something get pick up out there. If we never get pick up, you like you say, nobody now listen to the program, so time it come off. But we're there still. We're there. Yeah.
Ayata.
Ale.
Nobody come talk about you don't want to cut that through there, no, because I wait patiently.
That me I say, but never want to cut through that, go hear some man that come tell me I thought that foolishness and all. What you do, man?
Me there bless up, man. You know what I say, far right? Me know, say, you're going to laugh, but me I say to you, say, no. You know, say, you have to go set up an award for your listener, then.
Award?
Yeah, for best listenership award.
Yeah, true. Who are going to be the number one?
No Mandinka.
Mandinka from England?
Then a mouse. The man decent and I'm positive and have every time him have a salute. What you call it? A thing to the solution.
Yeah, him have something to say. Him have
something to say positive, man.
Yeah, man, I'm a schoolmate, man.
Eh?
I'm a schoolmate, you know.
They may not know me. Listen, they go through the world. I'm a 20 year old student, you know, so I know where I go.
Watch there.
So look here now.
I know you hear your tune a while ago too. You're an artist.
All right. And you know, sir, me I say, to Emperor Faith.
Yeah.
Back in the days, we give him trouble with our little sound, you know.
He was listening.
Emperor Faith, you know, say El Paso give you trouble.
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh, man. I know El Paso too, you know.
Then you must, you know, the thing from morning.
Yes.
Hello, with Dennis Al Capone with El Paso, we turn back Tubbies with you all the time and jamming. How will the man attack some man?
So like you look at Clash, you know, watch it, you know.
No, if they look at Clash, me go use you as the selector and mash up anything. So watch out. A Friday, me have to see you have to see me Friday in a Friday.
All right.
So Friday, yes sir.
Okay, what if you check you?
Then I must have to come check me and you can't come with you have to go bring some food come from off of the farm, you know.
No food at the farm, you know, man.
All right, sir. Yeah, you have water coconut. Bring coconut, man. Jelly coconut.
I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out.
All right,
maybe we can find Kane.
My wife love that one, the bad. Me too. Me have teeth save me. What you talk about, man? right, Alice, man. Me love that. What?
The original Baya, man.
Yes, I am.
Give thanks.
Yes, sir. Bless
yes, Baya. I'm going to see everything on cars, you know, trust me, I see everything, you know. But I tell you, say, Baya, come look at that day. And from that, I say, boy, you look so beautiful and nice and sweet and all and something there. And no man, them sit up there and think, you see when them go find out, say, Baya blind, man. Them couldn't believe it, man. Them couldn't believe, say, Baya can't say, Baya sit up there and buy all of the woman them. In the lobby them, I tell you. Original Baya. Okay. We are continuing this, you know. We are continuing this, yes.
Hear him.
Blessed.
Well, give a thanks, you know.
Yeah, man, every time.
As I say religiously, you have some people tune in year in, year out, day in, week out, you know. Well, I mean, so I've been guilty not coming to church recently still, you know. I'm a kind of get, we call it now, through the YouTube thing.
Yeah, you can't listen to it back on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing.
I'm going to tell you, Virgin, I tell you, Star, it's a great thing because remember, say, if you not tape it as, you know, somebody always tape it in your kind of dark. You see me, I say?
My corner.
Eh?
My corner go dark.
No, man, we want you about the program.
Oh, because yeah. Me don't send it out there already. So if a man want to make him corner dark and feel business, because I know my corner no dark.
But I don't know if you touch pan, because I just tune in. If you touch pan a little news, I don't really get much highlights still. This man from Israel say, in the business where them want to say about him and corruption charges and all them things there.
No, we touch upon the thing about them run out all of the African them by March. 20,000 Africans must leave Israel by March.
Oh, you really have to?
You never see that news there?
You never hear that one in
yeah, man, they might give them $3,500 for leave. To cover them airplane ticket. I don't know, joke business, you know. That's how the president
no, but you might do that now, and when them have charges against him. It's not like our politician where you never really hear them say, more time as some council and them thing they might hear like charges against them, and you know really hear an MP get charged and all of them thing there out there, you know. But this man is the prime minister for the place.
Yeah.
And them say this man have corruption charges and all them thing there. And them say, if they even look for them, them can go and chat off on them out. Yeah. That me hear from the reporter, me hear still, no. Yeah, I say the hear that one day, no.
Yeah. Well, I don't hear that one there, but I not disbelieve you. I think I true.
And I agree with the Virgin a while ago where them say, boy, Mandingo are one of the most consistent caller to the program and contributor to the program in a positive way.
Him call the same time every night. 2 hours a day with him call.
Yeah, consistency is the thing, you know, because enough time, enough away. You know, we not keep up the thing and with consistency we have to bring in you in the mix too.
Yeah.
Because trust me, me even you say it more time, you say, boy, come like, well, we can't stop repeating this, you know, because
some people not hear that time when we say it the first time.
And a real thing. Yeah. I remember the days when my old man was alive and he used to check say me alone and listen to the program. My old man don't listen to it, Virgin.
Yeah.
And it's a man where him kind of train me for listen world news and them things, you know.
Yeah.
You know, miss the BBC on certain things, but after a while we get more enlightened and know so them have them agenda too.
Yeah.
But meanwhile them are informed a certain way. Them kind of deal with the whole. Remember the programming thing where we talk about?
Program, mind control thing, man.
Yeah, man, them feed you with it. Them feed you with it and make you feel like, say, boy, you know?
You never notice when CNN I show you something. The clip when them I show you, I represent something when them I show you. Them keep, like them I loop it.
Yeah.
And it just stick in your head, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Them just loop it, and just stick in your head. Them always say breaking news, you know. All 2 days, them all say breaking news, you know. Yeah, man. Like, them know for hype things, man. Them hype things for you, man. Trust me, it can't come out of your mind, man.
And the president I talked to a while ago, and the matter about Emperor Fee. It's the same time when you
mean
the first man you call in, right?
Emperor Fee, yeah.
And same time I click on YouTube and hear something rugged. I mean, I say, you come by some real dub sound them here, where some bass line them here hear on a bridging.
Yeah.
I always thought one baseline and I want people and I said make sure your sound system up to date.
Yes.
Because you have to probably go buy some speaker.
You have to buy back some speaker next morning, man.
Yeah, man, and we give thanks to them, man. They call them, man. They set the foundation, and we give thanks to them still around too.
Of course. Me never know say Emperor Fate still about. Me never know at all.
Because enough of the other sound, them, they call it, you know, them sell out and, you know, all
the different something.
Yes, definitely so.
And you buy those call that about help us, so you don't know them sound there.
I said, I'm hungry about help us records and record store. I never know say what that sound too.
Yeah,
I don't know if I two different things that, you understand?
All right.
But brethren, keep up the good work, you know, and I don't want you to put me upon the back bench because I don't come to church.
No, we're not no bench in there, no. No bench on there at all, no brethren. All right, yeah?
Give a thanks.
Yeah. No bench on there at all, brethren. Why you love Rum Lane, you know? Rum Lane. Oh, you know, man, trust me, man, give thanks. Give thanks for that gift for you give me, man. Believe you me. I love getting gifts, you know, and that one was really sweet. And I know you have more than that there, you know. I know you have more than that there. So, I don't know if I forgot wait for the next function again, but I know you have more with that there. Give thanks, brethren. We're going to have for you a little more, you know, from 2 o'clock to 5:45 with the Stepping Razor, the art of war. Yes, we're going there.